believe that I just said that, bro.
Let me count me out since I came in. Feel like Harden with the game win. I was broken, got rich with the same friends. They wantin' this squad since the age 10. Tuck the gun on my back like a mercenary.
Big J, you're on fire.
What's up, YouTube? I'm your host Flamer. How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today's video, guys, we are going to be checking out Malistrip most dangerous in East London. Now, guys, let me tell you something. Why you guys sub just to unsub, man? We literally back at the exact number we started at this morning. Like, why you guys do that, man? Why you guys do that for, man? Come on. If you're gonna sub, you better like stick around and just, you know, just embark on this journey, you know, like just stick around and just mess with me for me. Like I don't get why some of you guys be subbing just to unsub. That makes no sense. It's like, don't even sub at all, you get me? But hey, we are on the road to 3K though. We trying to do a giveaway when we hit 3K, so sub up, man. I know there's some of you guys that's watching this video and you haven't subbed, so sub up. Giveaway at 100 more subscribers to go. It's not that far off, man. Come on, just help me share the video. But with that being said, we're gonna check this out. We're taking a little breaks from, you know, the songs and stuff like that. It's time to get our education up.
Talking about the Malistrip. Now, a hell of a lot of you guys have requested for this video, so let's try and smash 1K likes for my next video. And guys, if you remember last video, I said follow my Insta for a prize. I actually had to blur out my Insta in the video because you guys are going absolutely brazy with the follow requests.
Hey, also follow my Instagram, guys. Nerd. Shout out Kid Nerd, man. Shout out to him.
Now, Malistrip is a gang from the Leighton and Walthamstow area. There's actually two different sets that make up this gang. El Tizzy, which reps the E10 postcode, and SJ, which reps the E17 postcode. Now
let me actually put the captions on, man.
Mention postcodes. I mean more where the gangs are based rather than rep. Unlike a lot of other gangs in London nowadays, Malistrip doesn't really beef over the area you're from. Their beefs are all drug and revenge related, which is how gangs should be, technically speaking. I'm not encouraging
No, facts, that's exactly how it should be. I mean, like, you don't go around just picking a fight for no damn reason just to, like, cause a scene, and then you make a bag off that's, like, eliminating your op, and then you just make a bag off of that because you started a problem for no reason. Like, the way it should, like, it shouldn't even be like this at all. But if it does come this way, the only time you should really beef with somebody, though, is if somebody does something to you. If somebody does something to you or the people you love, you gotta retaliate back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you get what I'm saying, though, right? Like, that's the way it should go, not just going around, just picking fights, doing whatever they think they could do.
Any type of gang activity, of course. But obviously, it does make sense why a gang would have an issue with another gang if they're stopping them from making money. Now, the Malistrip gang control most of the drugs. The gang would have an issue with another gang if they're stopping them from making money. Now, the Malistrip gang control most of the drugs being served in the areas. Man. But this wasn't always the case. See, most Malistrip older members originated from another group called the Booming Boys, who were originally a Jamaican-based gang who used to run the area. The Booming Boys are based in an estate in East London called Booming Road, and they are the longest established gang in the area and are thought to have around 100 members. In the late 90s especially, they were seen as the most dominant gang in the area.
It's crazy to think that it was a few weeks ago we was reacting to some video, I forgot which one, because, you know, we react to a video every single day, but I think there was a gang that was like 30 members or something like that, and I thought it was a lot, you know, because think about it, 30 people in one group, that's a lot to me. But then you hear like, oh, 30 is not a lot in the UK, like, you know, the average is like 100 and stuff like that. Bro, that's like 3 classrooms. You need to tell me 100 is the average? That's just nuts, man.
But the Booming gang has always had issues with neighbouring gangs in the area, like the Oliver Close gang, or OCG, when a member of OCG robbed a member of Booming Boys over a dispute over drugs. So the Booming crew around these times was the biggest gang in the area because of the size of their estate. But because they were beefing so many different smaller areas, they were starting to get outnumbered. Estates are the UK version of the projects, if you don't know. And just like what we're seeing a lot now with these older crime-ridden estates, a lot of Booming is now being demolished and refurbished in an attempt to gentrify the area and push more lower-income families further away from London. So it's got to the point where pretty much all members of the Booming gang don't actually live on the Booming estate anymore. And this is a reality for pretty much most gangs in London right now. Many blocks which had high gang activity have now been demolished and rebuilt, which means most original gang members will be forced to relocate, and gang leaders will have to recruit new people from neighbouring areas.
Yeah, because the thing is, guys, like, you know, like, with these gangs and the groups, like, once they mark their territory, that's their territory. They don't care who comes in, who tries to get in their way. That's their territory. They made their mark, and they're gonna stick with it, you know. So to relocate somewhere else is like, it's out of their nature. They're not really. It's not gonna be. They're not gonna get let off that easy, you know.
Areas. But because of Boomer's big reputation, recruiting wasn't really an issue for them. But anyway, yeah, Boomer Boys included a lot of these MaliStrip members until they split from the gang and created their own organization. This is more than likely to create their own drug lines and territory, or it could have been because of personal reasons inside the gang itself. But either way, MaliStrip now beefed the Boomer Boys gang over territory. Now what a lot of people don't know about
Didn't I just say that? I just said that, bro. It's about their territory. Come on, man. I just said that.
MaliStrip gang, it isn't just a Somali gang, despite the name MaliStrip. The founding members of the gang were Somali, but there's all different types of races and ethnicities who were part of the gang. Now MaliStrip has caused such a massive disruption to the borough, because these guys are really some savages, and they've managed to clean up a lot of drug trade in the area, while also running county line operations outside of London, where I said they also operate in Essex, and even all the way to Scotland. And they've caused such a massive disruption that they're literally
talking about Scotland, one of you guys recommended me some Scottish drill. We're gonna check that out in the future. Whenever we conclude this UK drill series, we're going to be checking out different types of drills around the world. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you guys are watching this video, my UK people, you are going to be on this journey with me, discovering new music around the world by my side. So just stick around.
And the whole of their borough. So they're from a borough called Waltham Forest. The disruption, where I said they also operate.
I'm just rewinding a little bit just in case if I missed something important.
They've caused such a massive disruption that they're literally beefing the whole of their borough. So they're from a borough called Waltham Forest. And if you don't know what boroughs are, they're pretty much sections in London. I think there's around 32 boroughs in London. And the main gangs in the borough, apart from Malistrip, are the Boomant Crew, LGR, Priory Court and Higham Hill. And Malistrip are literally beefing all of these gangs. Some of these gangs literally set aside their beef just to focus on beefing Malistrip, which means these guys must be really putting on some pressure.
Kids are messy and the stack doesn't care.
Bro, just imagine that. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
But Malistrip,
just imagine they drop their beefs, you know, like with other groups or gangs or whatever, just to strictly focus on them. You know, for them to put all their focus onto one group, that group was really like applying that pressure, you know?
Isn't the only Somalian-based gang that have shown their ruthlessness. Other Somali gangs like Aga Grove in Camden have also shown they're not to play with. And this isn't just a UK thing. Somali gangs have dominated a lot of other countries like Sweden and Canada, where they operate mass drug operations over there as well, and have a big reputation of being quite savage. But when we look into the history of Somalia, we can start to see why. Like, these Somali-born people would have been surrounded by violence most of their life, with constant civil.
So, when they say operations, guys, do they just mean like, criminal related stuff, or what does it mean by that? Because, you know, I know it mentioned like, you know, like money and drugs and stuff like that, but I don't know. Let me know, man.
Civil wars, conflicts with Ethiopia, and piracy taking over the country. I guess a lot of these Somali gang members are just a product of their environment, which is sad because deep down, Somalis are one of the most funny and genuine people you'll meet. But anyway, back to Malistrip. So as I said,
I didn't know that.
Their whole borough, but they have made little alliances, like a smaller gang in the area called the DM Crew. And when I say alliances, I mean pretty much absorbing the gang. Because Malistrip is such a massive group, they've managed to take over smaller gangs and building their enterprise, which can work good on the money side of things, but can cause a lot of trouble for the gangs as well. Sometimes this creates sort of a divide in between gangs, like the Somalian gang TPO in North London. They have two completely different sets branch out the gang, which both beef each other, which is hella weird because they both roll with the same name TPO. And it's just like 1 minute you're friends and 1 minute you're not. And it could even just be one person within that group. You could all literally be fine. There could be 10 guys from this gang, 10 guys from that gang. Everyone's fine with each other, but it could literally be that one member that has a problem with another member. And
It'd be like that. It's not even just with gangs too. Like, guys, I know you've seen it in video games. I know you've seen it in movies, and possibly even potentially in real life too. For example, you know, it's you and let's say like four other of you guys, right? It's a group of you guys, and you guys is gonna do this heist where you're gonna rob this jewelry store, which is filled with millions of dollars, right? You go, you do the heist and stuff like that, but unfortunately, you're not able to get all the money. Because you find out that the police is on the way and they're close to your location. So basically, you know, you and your group, you have to like get out of there before you guys like you get caught up and go to jail. But in that sequence of events, there's always that one person out of the group where they get so greedy and they want to stay and take all the money. Essentially, it's like they would risk it all just so they could get every single bit of money, bro. And because of that one member, they all get caught up because him and his foolishness and his greed, it caught up to him. So it's kind of like that with this gang stuff, you know, like everybody be cool with each other, but if there's one member that has beef with somebody else, they're gonna start beefing, you know, gangs is gonna get separated, and then they're just gonna start beefing with each other as groups. Like it gets real deep into the situation, you know.
They might have a fight and then their friends are obviously fine with each other, but it could literally be that one member that has a problem with another member, and they might have a fight and then their friends are obviously going to back each other with the fight, and it could just create a massive divide. Even within that tight circle with...
You see what I just said? Bro, it's just the knowledge, guys. Like, it's just... Some of this stuff is really just, like, you just know it. I forgot what was the word called, but you guys know what I mean. Like, you just know this stuff.
Things are getting hard. Maybe there's not enough money coming through. Maybe there's a drought with drugs. Some people will look into their circle and think, who can we rob? But I know I refer to MaliStrip as a gang, but in reality, I say they're much organized.
Common sense. There you go. That's the word. It's common sense.
They have very active operations in place to stop law enforcement. And they heavily monitor police activity just to make sure they're safe. This includes operationality. I say they're much organized than what you would call just a normal street gang. And they have very active operations in place to stop law enforcement. And they heavily monitor police activity just to make sure they're safe. This includes waiting outside police stations to record police number plates, placing spotters around the area to warn of police presence, and even gathering police officers' information on social media to post threats towards them.
Damn.
One officer noted that members were hanging out the back of the police station,
serious.
and they were actively taking pictures of him while writing down his number plate, which I guess is mainly an intimidation tactic. But it's not just their drug operation which has made MaliStrip catch some attention. Their beef with rival gangs in the area is probably one of the most active in London, especially in 2018 and 19, when there was a lot of tit-for-tat war going on. So much back and forth that I can't even put it all into one vid. But let's go back to 2017, when an affiliate of MaliStrip was stabbed to death in Walthamstow. So his name was Elijah Donnelly, and he was a talented footballer, but obviously started getting involved in the street life. Elijah and his friend was walking down the street at night on May 7th, 2017. People say he was trapping that night in the area, but either way, two members of the Booming gang, Ezra Soares and Morgan Mockford, spotted the two while they were riding out on their bicycles. The pair then hid behind the telephone box and leaped out and stabbed Elijah in the stomach, hitting the main artery and causing his intestines to start falling out. Elijah, after being stabbed, actually managed to run to a nearby shisha bar called Arabian Nights, but died 2 hours later from blood loss, while his friend managed to escape unharmed. And his killers have actually had a lot of previous convictions from carrying knives mainly, which poses the question, do you guys think there should be harsher sentencing for knife possession? One of the attackers have actually previously been caught with a knife in 6 separate occasions, so maybe if the police had dealt with him earlier, Elijah might have not had to lose his life. Both attackers were sent to life at prison at the age of 18, so in around 20 seconds of confrontation, 3 young boys now lost their lives. Anyway, this really started to ignite the feud in the area, which saw some tit for tat from both areas, but unfortunately on March 2018, it was clear that this feud had now spiraled out of control. 3 MaliStrip members, Loic Nagiz, Hamza Ohat, and a 16-year-old boy that can't be named.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, I guarantee you, bro, this is the type of dude right here. You throw a fucking cheeseburger right in his way, bro. He would literally choose the cheeseburger over his group of friends. Like, he would literally turn on his friends, turn on his gang members, just so he could get that cheeseburger, bro. It's like Plankton. You guys know SpongeBob, how Plankton, he always wants that Krabby Patty, but he never gets it? I guarantee you, throw a cheeseburger, throw a Big Mac his way, bro. Watch what he's gonna do, bro.
For revenge. When they mistook a man for
Yo, I just realized what I said. It's just all jokes, man. It's all jokes, bro. Don't take nothing for it. It's all jokes. I'm just reacting, bro. Don't harm me.
It's obviously always sad to hear when an innocent person gets caught up in stuff for revenge. When they mistook a man called Joseph William Torres for a gang member called Samuel Hunter and shot him dead in his van in Walthamstow, East London, which is obviously always sad to hear when an innocent person gets caught up in stuff like this. But when you compare the two, they actually look hella similar. Like the same race, the same facial features and height. It's scary. And interestingly, the two murderers of Joseph were actually caught breaking into the home of Ezra Soares, the 18-year-old who was convicted of killing Elijah, who I mentioned before. The day after they broke into his house, the two members actually shot up an amusement arcade when they believed they saw Morgan Mockford, the other killer of Elijah. So you could already start to see where the links are between these murders and how the first murder of Elijah has now ignited the mistaken identity killing of Joseph.
Bro, that's what, like I said, guys, you would never catch me on the gang side of London. They're gonna mistake me for either Lowski or, you guys said I look like Lowski and somebody else. I forgot who, but they're gonna mistake me for him. And just imagine, bro, I can't be doing no more reaction videos for you guys. I'm gone, man. I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of this world.
Joseph. It also shows how dedicated the pair was to revenge. They were still looking for revenge months after.
But I would visit
anyway,
London though, like on the suburban side, the good area.
The war in the area
I would
going
do that
crazy.
though.
In one incident, a member of a local gang called Priory Court was riding out looking for MaliStrip members and chased 4 members with a loaded gun, a knife, and ammonia while they hid in the off license. Ammonia is basically acid, and what some gang members would do was squirt it into rivals' faces, leaving scars and causing their face to peel off if strong enough. But yeah,
bro, acid in their face? They is cold killers. Acid? Oh,
was caught doing
yo, that's some Batman stuff, bro.
And was actually caught running 2 county line operations while in prison. Like, you've really got to be a serious boss to run a whole drug operation while being locked in prison. But the one murder that really started to shine light on this whole situation was the murder of 14-year-old Jaden Mealy. On the 9th of January 2018, MaliStrip members stole a Mercedes and rid out to the Beeman Boys territory. They caught 14-year-old Jaden riding around in his moped when he was out dealing drugs and drove the car at him at a high speed and pretty much killed him.
14 trapping? Whew. I can understand though, you know, like some of these, like, you know, people in the UK, their situations is bad, so that's probably maybe the only way they can get out, you know, so I can't really blame you for that. But for those that, like, they have a future ahead of themselves and they would give up their future for the gang life, that's stupid. Like that one dude they mentioned earlier, I forgot his name, but they say he was a skilled footballer, but he just chose the gang life. Like, that's a stupid move, bro. If you a talented footballer, you have a chance to go pro and make way more. Well, maybe. It depends. But, like, you're guaranteed to be set for the rest of your life with the money you'd get as a professional footballer. And on top of that, people will love you. And you would have a good reputation. It's just... You just gotta see that way,
members
man.
Then jumped out the car and stabbed Jaden 9 times, even though he was already dead. Then fled away from the scene. One of these killers being 19-year-old Ayub, who was sentenced to die for the murder. Ayub is a classic example of a kid who's had a troubled childhood, who was then groomed into joining the gang. His father died while young, and he was put into foster care and worked under a Malistrip county line operation. And now this young man has now got to spend the majority of his life behind bars. Now, when most people think about the group Malistrip, the rapper Richie comes to mind the most. He pretty much set the platform.
You know what? We've heard of Richie, but I'm not sure if we actually listened to him. I know we did RondoMontana, and I know we probably did somebody else, but I don't think we did Richie, if I'm right.
For the group with his song Bingo, and put his younger members on like Baby Main, who is now doing numbers. And just a side note, I think Richie is a seriously underrated rapper. Like, I don't think he's really got the recognition that he deserves. Well, allegedly, Richie was involved in a double murder of 2 drug dealers back in 2014. Now, this isn't actually all confirmed, and it's kind of just speculations. But Richie talks a lot in his lyrics how he beat a crazy case, and the timelines kind of match up. So in 2014, a group of 7 MaliStrip members stabbed to death 2 rival drug dealers in the East London area of Leytonstone. 4 were found guilty and 3 were found not guilty. But one member actually fled to Algeria straight after the murder. 5 years later in 2019, this same member returned to the UK to clear his name, quote unquote, and was put on trial, and was eventually found not guilty of the double murder. And this was the same year that Richie burst onto the drill scene, where he mentions he beat a case. Obviously, he was found not guilty for the murder, so if it was him or not, either way, the person managed to beat the case. But if you actually type in Richie on YouTube, you'll see all of his original songs are gone. He just straight re-uploads on there. He put a message on his Insta pretty much saying he's stepping away from the gang life and is now devoting his life to Islam, which is why he deleted all the videos.
Respect to Richie, man. Guys, my brain is slow, man. What does Islam mean? Is that like something holy or something? I'm being slow right now, man. Let me know. But respect to Richie, man. You know, getting out of the gang life is not an easy feat, but for him to do that and to just step away and leave all that just negative stuff behind, respect to Richie for that, man.
Which, if that is the case, then congrats to him. It takes a lot to step out of that life and start fresh. So
yeah, exactly. Hell yeah,
continues
bro.
to follow that path. Whether that's actually the case or not, who knows though. We'll have to see. If you haven't noticed as well, none of these MaliStrip murderers are actually Somali. Even Ayub was half Irish and Moroccan. So it just goes to show, even though the gang is called MaliStrip, the gang is quite diverse.
It's
so in
not
this video,
Somali.
I've probably named around 5 to 10 people under the age of 20 who have either lost their life or freedom to the streets. Obviously, we have sad cases like Ayub, who have had unfortunate starts to life, which has led them to make stupid decisions, which I'm sure he now regrets. But guys, cases like this are becoming way too common now. If you're watching this video and are starting to associate with some sort of gang activity or rivalries, then just stop now, please.
You heard him, man. Guys, for my audience, I better not dare ever see you guys get affiliated with a gang life. And if you want to be a drill rapper, you can do that, but you better not be doing anything illegal. You better not be doing anything suspicious or crime related. If you're gonna be a drill rapper, be a drill rapper, but stay away from the BS. Do you hear me? Okay. Also, with that being said, for my UK audience, just there's many ways for you guys to enjoy your life. You don't have to devote your life to the streets and the game. You can literally, like what that one do, you could be a footballer, you could be a basketball player, you could be a commentator, you know, you could be a teacher, you could be anything you want. And the best part about that too is not only will you stay away from trouble, you're at the same time living life. That's the way life should go. So I just want all of you guys to be something in your life. And you know what's crazy? If I'm still doing this YouTube stuff maybe 5 or 10 years from now, I want to hear how you guys are doing. I want to hear how far you guys gotten in life and what you're doing. Like, when I say I want you guys to stick around with me, I really do, man, because we all one big family. We all been one community, you know? So yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed that video, man. It was definitely a good video, man. Shout out to Kid Nerd. Definitely got a better insight of Malistrip and what they do and what they're about. And yeah, it was good. So yeah, with that being said, it's your boy Flamo, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tune into the next video, and I'll see you guys next time.